I was born in the Val Triangle in the family of 6. My father and my mother were forced to leave their beautiful property they built on their own. And then they tasted the forced removals. I ended up in Sharpeville growing up. Then is where my life started, actually, in Sharpeville. The real life started there after my high school education. We were expected then to take what we used to call passbook, students' reference books, And this municipal police visited my home. I was singled out as somebody who is not supposed to live in that house. So though my mother said, no, here is a house permit, his name is appearing here. And they told her that no, this book actually tells the story that he is not welcomed in this area. But I was forced to leave the house. 1613 Musheshwe Street in Sebokeng. That was my home. There's a time where I had to sleep in the hostel, Sebokeng Hostel, because I was scared to go home. And when I was finally in Sharpeville, when my uncle took over to look after me, in defiance. So then is when I started to be in confrontation with the system. That's why I was exposed to politics. Especially during those days, it was more the black consciousness politics, I remember I applied for membership with AZAPO because I wanted to belong to something that can really give me something for hope, I wanted something to give me hope about the future, because what I was really going through, I didn't really like it. And that's what actually made me to fiercely become part of the mass democratic movement. I wrote a letter to the mayor of Meyerton while being a clerk there. And my complaint was, Mr. Mayor, there are no toilets at the bus rank, where every time when it's raining, we have to take cover, under the trees and so on. And I remember the man I was reporting to, Mr. Smith, rebuked me and said, how dare can you do that? Writing to the mayor of Meyerton Town Council. And the staff were so excited that, finally, now we are going to have a nice bus rank with that, spirit of voluntarism. Then I remember the director of Dependence Conference, the late Miss Sophie Mazibuko, really recommended that I should come full-time to work for the Council of Churches. I started actually to interact with people like then the Bishop of Johannesburg, who then happened to be the General Secretary of SAC, Archbishop Desmond Tutu, then Dr. Beyers Nude, Reverend Chikani. These are people who really shaped my vision about life, how to do things, how to respond to the repression of the day. So I used to read a lot about the reports by the Council of Churches, how Archbishop Desmond Tutu would visit the families who were forcefully removed, like the community of Mohopa. I remember I followed that story, and it excited me because my family experienced the same thing when they were forcefully removed. And later on, I was assigned to do also death row ministry, to visit those who were sentenced to death for political beliefs. So it was the most traumatic thing. I experienced this thing in the death row to understand the gravity of hanging another person. I just could not believe standing on the death trap door. Those ropes. This young man saying, I was supposed to hang here, but thanks God I'm alive. I just could not imagine that. Today there are opportunities. Government is giving people free houses. So that's why we say, South Africans, it's time for us to take opportunities and build our nation. There are opportunities for people to start businesses. In the past, we used to go to look for a job. There was nothing else but to go to look for a job. So today, young people today can be their own employers. I mean, I was impressed. Last week, I took my house plan to a young person, and I was impressed listening to this young girl, a girl for that matter, doing these calculations for me. I said, oh God, this is New South Africa. This kind of a skill, you won't find it anywhere in the township. And she told me, I'm from Pimville in Soweto. These are good stories to tell young people who go smoking, dacha, drugs, talking about unemployment, to say, you don't know what you are talking about. Because there are young people there who took the opportunity and seized the opportunity and ran with it.